Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name's Amanda Godfrey, for those that don't know. Hey Kim, hey lovely. I'm from Mystical Dragon. Mystical Dragon is a spiritual store. We are a spiritual college, and we also have practitioners that work out of our rooms. And we're really excited that this month we are celebrating our 16-year birthday. So we opened our doors 16 years ago, February 19th, which is really exciting for us. So we've been in operation 16 years now. Hi Silvana, welcome honey. So we have a new moon that's coming up. For us in Australia, it's this Friday. We've got the new moon, and it's a new moon in Aquarius. And it is at 6:05 a.m. for those of us that are in Melbourne. Somehow I managed to get the time wrong in the newsletter. I think I must have gone to check the time and not actually updated it. So I apologize if you've read the newsletter and it has a different time. It is 6:05 in the morning this Friday that we have the new moon officially completely full in Aquarius. And we actually have a number of planets that are going to be in that sign of Aquarius as well this Friday. So it's going to have very potent Aquarius energy. I have suggested, so if you've seen the newsletter, I have suggested and talked about using this time to kind of start a practice from the new moon and for the following 6 days. And this might be something that you start and keep going with beyond those 7 days, or it might be something you just do for those 7 days and maybe pick up and put down at different times as it feels appropriate. Hi Heather, hi Andrew, I'm glad you guys can join us. Thank you. So yes, feel free if it feels right to you just to do it perhaps even for 1 day, that's fine, or a couple of days, and perhaps life goes a bit astray. And I'm going to talk a bit about how you can actually adjust the process that I'm suggesting for you as well. So if you don't have, I'm only really talking about a couple of tools, but there might be some of those that you don't have. So how you can kind of tweak it back if you need, or how you could expand it more if you want to as well. So there's lots of reasons why it's a really great thing to do to connect to universal loving energy. It does so many things for us. And first and foremost, love is the most powerful energy that we have on the planet. Love can do so many different things. It is such a powerful healer. It is such a powerful energy for clearing, for doing so many different things. Honestly, it is the most powerful energy that we have on the planet. It is more powerful than hate and fear and all of those kind of energies that we do have here that are a bit rife, especially at the moment on our planet. So why would you want to connect to universal love? Because you're actually going to feel really good in doing this process. The process I'm suggesting, it might only take you a couple of minutes to do and be part of your daily practice just for a few minutes, or you could certainly expand it and make it a bit of a longer practice if you've got the time. But it will certainly leave you feeling really good when you connect to universal energy and you do this practice. You will actually find that there are healing benefits for you if you do this practice, and if you do it more than just one off. So once off, yes, you'll find you'll be left feeling really good. But if you do it more than just the once, especially, you will find that it will actually start to bring healing for you. So it can help to heal you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, on any level or all levels. You will find this universal energy is really healing for you. So know that this can be a really great healing practice for yourself. Or it can be a really great way to be able to send healing to somebody else. So as part of the practice, you might specifically focus on them and sending them some of this universal healing energy too. So know that that can be a really powerful way to send somebody else some healing as well. If there's a relationship that you've been really struggling in, this is a really powerful way. You can actually think of that person and send them this universal energy, this loving energy as well. And it can help to dissolve barriers and help to do some healing for you. And you might find that they're more receptive the next time that you're around them and that you need to speak with them and interact with them. So it can be really healing for relationships as well. Um, it can also help to open your own heart to love. So with Valentine's Day coming up as well, lots of people tend to be focused on love in general, but it can help to open up your own heart. So if you're looking for that romantic partnership, it can actually help to open your heart so that you can be open and receptive to any kind of relationship coming in as well. And of course, it's really going to raise your vibration, and you will go about your day and you will probably find that there will be people that will interact with you a little bit differently, as in more positively. You might find that there's little miracles that occur because you've set your day, you've set that intent, and you've put such loving energy, you've filled yourself with it, you've surrounded yourself with it, you're connected to it, you've kind of outpoured it around you, and that will have a really positive kind of on-flow effect, not just for you personally, but it tends to be for those that you interact with as well throughout your day. So going beyond this, once you do connect with this and use this, I would love to hear your feedback as well down the track too, please, because I know what it does for me is these things I've just listed. So I would love to hear how wonderful you find that this energy is for you. So let's get to it. What I'm recommending, and I will put it up in a written post as well in the morning. So what I'm recommending is a little process that I put together, which you will need a pink candle. Wish candles work really well, or you can use a bigger candle because you will want to use the same candle over those 7 days if you do the process for the 7 days, and you just want to be able to snuff it out at the end. So the wish candles will work, or if you want to use a bigger candle, you certainly can for this one. Having some fresh flowers is really great because it gives you kind of a focal point to get you started. So that could be fresh flowers from out of your own garden, or you might decide to go spoil yourself and buy yourself some, or someone might buy them for you. And a stick of incense is a great thing to have as well. So a nice fragrance that you like. Fragrances that are specifically connected to love are kind of more ideal again. So something like your rose or your frangipani or your lavender, these are all ones that are connected to that energy of love. But as long as it's something that you enjoy, because it's not going to be any good if you're sitting there and you don't like the scent, because that's only going to take away from what you're doing rather than add to what you're doing. So make sure it's a scent that you do really love and you like. I will recommend charging your candle up with that intent of connecting to universal love. So we charge the candle up between two hands, usually eyes closed, and we want to see and feel and just really put our intent into the candle of, I really want to be connected to universal love. And remembering that universal love, this is, this is a big all-encompassing energy where there's no judgment, there's no strings attached, there's no, there's no restrictions in this love. It's this, like this huge big hug from the universe is universal love, where you are just taken as you are accepted, and you are loved. So know that that is that energy of universal love. Know, you know, that there's no reason that you can't connect to this energy, and no reason you can't share it with anybody else. So that's our intent, which we're charging the candle with. Now, if you like, you can also do some carving in the side of your candle if you feel called to. Anything that represented love and universal love to you would be perfect to put down the side. Or you can even put your own name if you like, but hearts, or maybe the earth with like a big heart around it, or whatever resonated with you that made sense. You could write the word love, but you don't have to carve in the side of your candle. It's just an option for you as part of this. So then you want to set up your candle on your sacred place. So it might be on your altar that you set up your candle, you set up your stick of incense. You're going to want a stick of incense for each day that you do this process as well. And you want to put your fresh flowers in a vase, preferably on that sacred space as well, or somewhere where you'll see it while you're working with everything that you've got set up on your altar. So then what we want to do is we want to start by focusing on the flowers and just take a moment to quiet ourselves, center ourselves, get in a comfortable position, because this is essentially like quite meditative what we're going to do. And we want to start by focusing on the flowers and focusing on how the flowers, they just kind of open up, and they are this beautiful entity without struggle. They share their joy and their beauty with all that are around them without judgment. They just kind of unfold. It's a very natural thing for them to be what they are and to share what they are with all around them. So that's just a really great place just to start with our awareness and to think about any of those aspects about the flowers and how beautiful and innocent that they are, and how much that they share what they are with you and with anybody that kind of comes and sees them and passes by. So that's a really beautiful space to kind of bring ourselves back into a centered place, which is perfect for what we're doing. And when you kind of feel like you're ready, that's when I want you to light your candle. And when we light our candle, there's this sense of we're lighting up or connecting to this universal energy. So light your candle and at the same time kind of feel like you are igniting an energy in you, for you, with you. Igniting that energy. You're kind of like, I'm purposely connecting to this energy. And don't worry about if any of that, just know that you can connect to this energy and light your candle doing that. And then kind of just quieten yourself, close your eyes. You might want to take a moment to stare at your candle, to take that in, but closing your eyes and focusing on the fact that this energy has been lit within you or reignited within you, especially if you feel, you've had stuff that's been going on and you are feeling like you've been disconnected from that loving energy, like, something's happened and you don't feel you can be as loving. Definitely feel that reconnection of that energy. However it is that you experience that, feel that happening at a heart space and feel that growing at your heart space as well. If you need to, you can focus on somebody or a number of people that you really love to help kind of start igniting that loving energy, because sometimes it's just not a natural thing that comes for us. It might take a little bit of practice to really connect in with that energy. So if you need to focus on thinking about some of the people in your life that you really love and adore, then use that to kind of ignite that energy. And you'll find the more that you do that, it's a practice, the more you do that, the more easily that you will start, with the lighting of the candle, it will just kind of come because you're automatically starting to make that connection. It's becoming a more natural connection that you're reconnecting back to. So don't stress if you need to do that. It doesn't say anything about you. It's just a way that you can help to connect to that energy. So we start by connecting on that heart level and feeling that energy on our heart space, and then allowing that energy to start to kind of grow and to grow and grow so that it is filling the whole of our body. Allowing it to just fill us up completely. See us really, it overflows out of our heart and into the whole of our body. And it feels really beautiful while we're filled with this loving energy. So just allow that feeling and hold that space for as long as you want to, filled with this beautiful, loving, nurturing energy, this healing energy. Feel it all the way through you. And at this time, you might actually find yourself starting to feel some loving thoughts about yourself too, about how you might nurture yourself or things that you might do to take care of yourself more. And that is brilliant. That's perfect if you start to have some of those thoughts about how to take care of me better, how to nurture myself better, because that universal loving energy is going to bring through messages like that for you. So be really open to that if that starts to happen for you. Then the next step, we're actually going to light the incense next and allow that to kind of start to swirl and to circulate, and take a moment to really connect with the scent of your incense. And you might like to kind of, bring some of that beautiful scent, some of the smoke over yourself, and just focus on the scent and smelling that. And we give thanks to the element of air. But we stay connected with this loving energy. So don't disconnect from that while you do that. Just take a moment to light your incense. And then while we're connected to that overflowing loving energy, we're actually going to allow that to start to overflow. It's like you're going to hit the point, there's so much loving energy that you can't contain it anymore. You can't keep it all to yourself. It would almost be selfish to keep to yourself. And so we allow that loving energy to overflow out and kind of like be caught on that air, on that bit of a breeze, on that wind, and start to expand outwards to everybody that's around us. So while you do this practice, you might decide that you're going to think of people that you really love and particularly want to send it to. So you might think of those people you want to send healing to. You might think of people at work, family. You might think of friends. You might think of the neighbors. You might think of anyone you know that's sick, and purposely, make sure that this energy, this loving energy, is overflowing out to them. But then I want you to also get to a point where it's kind of overflowing out to more than them, to people you don't know, out into your neighborhood, out into the city, out into the whole of the country, out into the whole of the earth, the whole of the globe. Okay? I really want it just to be this all expanding, beautiful, loving energy that's just kind of just exploding out everywhere, and be aware of that and feel that, because you're still connected to it. It's just that you're generating and bringing through so much universal loving energy. It's just going, it's all encompassing, it's going to everything. And feel that and be aware of that. It's a beautiful thing to experience. And while that's happening, while this beautiful expanding energy is happening, you might find that your thoughts start to shift to perhaps things that you might be able to do, to being kind to somebody, or being able to pass on some of that loving energy in a more physical sense, to those around you, to workmates, to people you know. You might find universe inspires you with some of those things that might be good to do on that particular day. So that's perfect too. Allow that to happen as well, and be open and receptive to those messages too. So it's a beautiful flow of energy. And then I just want you to sit in that energy for as long as feels appropriate to you to do. Sit in that energy, feel that energy. So if you've got the time and you can sit in that energy for, a good 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, that's fantastic. That'll just feel really good. It'll be really healing for you, for your soul. It'll be really good for everybody, for the globe, because, I really feel that we're sending a lot of healing when we do this as well. So, sit in that energy for as long as is appropriate to you. If you only have a few minutes to do this whole process, that's fine. You can certainly do it in just, maybe 5 minutes. But if you've got more time, it's great to spend to really be able to sit in that energy as well. And it's good to be able to follow this up too with a little bit of journal writing, perhaps being able to jot down some of the messages that came through from universe, some of that inspiration, or perhaps you might have also gotten visions about different things, some beautiful, wonderful, positive things that are yet to come, or that are, right on the verge of happening, or whatever it happens to be. So that's the ideal time to, do a little bit of journal writing if you can as well. So that is essentially the process that I'm really encouraging you guys to do, or to take the time with. So I'm going to talk really briefly about, you could definitely tweak this down and not use any of the tools I've suggested, but simply do the visualization. So doing that, starting with the heart and feeling that igniting in the heart, and then it expands and fills your heart, and expands and fills up your whole body. And then we sit in that for a little bit, and then it expands out beyond us and is widespreading and spreads out to the whole, the whole world, the whole universe, and being aware of that energy. So you can simply do it as just a visualization without any of the tools. You can take any of the tools that I've suggested out. If you don't want fresh flowers, you don't have to start with fresh flowers if you just want to use the incense and the candle, which I really love, because I find that they just bring, it's like it just deepens the experience a little bit more, I find, for me. But it's totally up to you and what resonates with you. You could also add things like any crystals that felt appropriate. You could add. You could certainly dress your altar to be, things that represent universal love, or have images of those that you love and you want to reinforce the connection with, etc. So that there is a lot of different ways that you could kind of work with this process. So please do feel free to kind of play with it a little bit, and work it so that it feels really comfortable for you, and a way that you want to really do it. Hi, Narelle. No worries, darling. Rita says it will dissolve all negative emotions. I have. Can't wait to start. Yes, absolutely. It will help to dissolve negative emotions. Anything you've been trying to heal with, it's really going to help to work on those and help to dissolve anything that you've been doing healing work on or thinking about doing some healing work on. So absolutely. And like I said, you can do it as a 5-minute process. It's ideal, obviously, to start with in your day. So if you can do it in the morning, that would be really a powerful way to start your day, or incorporate it into your morning routine in some way. Or you could do it in the evening if that's what suits you better. Totally up to you. Or you could do the process morning and evening if you wanted to and you really wanted to embrace it. But I encourage it for the 7 days. Because you might find that once you've done it for the 7 days, it kind of becomes a little bit of a part of your routine, that you'll just kind of adopt it because you're finding such a lot of positive experience out of it. So, if you start adopting it as a more permanent thing, that's awesome as well. So, did anybody have any questions in relation to connecting with universal love? Is there any specific guides to call on that could help? Honestly, you could call in your own spirit guides and ask them to assist you if you want. There's lots of loving energies that are out there that would be happy. The angels are always very lovingly connected, so you could ask all the angels, or specific angels if there's one that you particularly love to work with. There's also divinities like Kuan Yin is a beautiful one I always think of with love and self-love. Mother Mary is a beautiful one. Even Mary Magdalene, although not a goddess, she's certainly like ascended master energy, and she would be amazing to call on as well. So those would be some of the ones I would think about if you want to call in some energy to assist with what you're doing too. Yes, Andrew, it will help to clear your space as well, because it'll raise your vibration, it'll raise the vibration of the space that you're in also. Can you call in your own higher aspect of yourself? Yes, for sure, you definitely can. And you'll probably find that you'll automatically connect to it as part of the process as well, because of that vibration raising that occurs with doing this process as well. Can anyone else have any final questions? Sorry if my internet's slow and I'm just seeing your questions really slowly. It's better than not having any internet, so I'm very thankful for that. I know we're in Mercury retrograde still, so I always cross my fingers when I'm going to do Facebook Live or anything like that in Mercury retrograde. Beautiful. All right. Well, that is what I wanted to be able to pass on to you guys. I will put it up in a Facebook post tomorrow as well, so there'll be some written instructions. It went out also in the newsletter, so if you are on Mystical Dragons newsletter list, I did have written instructions in the newsletter there as well. So you will see it there too if you like. And I will endeavour to add it to our Book of Shadows, hopefully at least before Friday for you. So if you lose where it is, then you can go to our website and find it in our Book of Shadows as well. Oh, Heather's just asked, do we need to do a protective Merkaba beforehand? No, you don't. You don't need to do anything else beforehand. You will find that this process will actually strengthen your Merkabas and any other protective energy that you do. So if you do it in the morning perhaps before you go out, you could always add your Merkaba over the top to like finish the process for yourself before you kind of head out for the day. So you could certainly do that, but you wouldn't need to put it up before you do the process. You certainly will be protected during this process. I'm glad. Amanda, I'm really glad that it feels really appropriate for you at the moment. That's wonderful. So I just really feel called to encourage everyone to connect to this universal loving energy, which is why I have written about it and felt the need to also do a Facebook Live. So I hope that you really enjoy connecting with it and the process for yourself as well. As I said, I would love to hear how you find the experience too. So please feel free to, maybe drop some comments in Mystical's group or on our page next week as you do the process or finish with the process as well. Sending out loads of love to you guys. I feel like everybody needs big hugs at the moment. Let's not put any more of this fear energy out there. I know it can be hard to do because we've got constant COVID updates and things happening, and we all get a bit stressed about all kinds of things at the moment. But let's try to focus on this loving energy and filling ourselves and sharing this loving energy with everybody that we know and meet and run into, and do our best to just show lots of loving kindness to everyone that we come into contact with. So sending out loads of love to you all. I hope you have a really great rest of the night or whenever it is that you might be rewatching this. Have a wonderful week and enjoy this new moon, everybody. Much love to you all.